It's not a good enough excuse, unfortunately.
This is Dutch Christmas music or something. You will not get copyrighted.
Anyway, this is round 4 of VollGazzRacing Season 7 Division 2. It is cloudy conditions, the rain is held off. It should hold off for Division 1, but I guess it's in Indonesia, so we can change.
Yeah, I've just seen some sun trying to break through the clouds, so it looks like we're going to be good here. Nelson's here again today with Howland, so how you guys doing?
Yes, but definitely today it's gonna be an awesome race, as I stated yesterday. It was a very difficult session for the boys. Not a lot of riders were there for Division 2, but the ones that were there were struggling quite a lot. But now we have a bit more riders on the grid today, and I think it's gonna be a spectacular race. Maybe, hopefully, a really great battle for the top 3 positions. But Josh seemed really strong in the qualifying, so maybe he will bring that into the dry conditions as well today. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to this one, guys.
Yeah, me too. Looking forward
I don't know about that. Some people practice in the dry, some people practice in the rain. In the end, they didn't practice together, and that's a concerning thing with Division 2. So we'll see who will keep each other alive and who will, get killed.
Yeah, obviously we woke up this morning, looked out,
and they chose violence.
And it was wet, so now it's dry. So obviously, as Haaland stated yesterday, the track does dry up very quickly. There's a special drainage system, so if the heavens do break, which it's not forecast to, but you never know here.
There's one advantage.
2 dry races.
Philly, it came to mind that there's one advantage they have now. It's dry. The water washed all the dirt away, so if they run wide, they won't lose the front as easy as usually. So that might be the only good thing about this.
Yeah.
But the other point is it's really cold, probably. Yeah, not cold because it's Indonesia after all, but the humidity is very high, yet the track temperature has not been risen to the max yet, and there's not a lot of rubber on the ideal line. So we'll see some tricky moments when overtaking, I guess.
Definitely, but some key factors of this track. It's a 70-turn track, so you have 17 turns on this track. It's a 4.3 kilometers long track. It's quite long, but short at the same time. If you all understand, it's quite weird. A lot of banked and cambered corners, so it can affect your bike a lot. While turning in, wanting to go around the outside of the curbs. And the curbs around here aren't too forgiving sometimes on some places and areas, so the guys can play with boundaries here. But as we wait on Touch and Josh to ready up before we can start, it's gonna be something to look out for, especially on, I think, the transition from turn 11 to turn 12. You have a bit bank corner to the left, and it tends to push you out to the rumble strips. And in the battle, I think it's gonna be a key factor for the guys to maybe push someone out a bit towards the outside of the track, and maybe that will gain them a position very easily. Bit aggressive, but you know, rubbing is racing, they say.
Yeah, obviously it's a shortened race to 10 laps. Obviously it's quite a new track. The boys are here for the first time since this test, and we're getting ready to go here. 10 laps of this because of the track surface isn't the best because of the degrading track.
Devices.
Here we go.
Here we go.
On the
Lights are on.
And the lights go out to the Yamaha guys, and Josh gets an initial really great reaction, but Wigan comes in
is he's
got
gonna
doing nothing, and here we go then on the brakes.
Into turn 1. No.
Josh will get the whole
Josh
shot.
sweeps it in.
Beautiful by Josh. Great start for the pole man. He's still in
the KTM boys legendary goes around the outside of his
Oh, the proceedings have come together.
He's down.
Mogsy's down, yeah. Legendary's made a good start here, as we saw. He should have paced in qualifying yesterday in the wet. It's a completely different
getaway for the guys as well. Not that I expected that.
Oh, we're getting a bit wide on the curb. Now we change direction through this fast chicane, and the KTMs. Oh my God, the 2 KTMs.
Whoa! 2 KTMs just sweep by past.
Oh,
and here's
the oh my goodness,
mess that up.
Contact between the 2 KTMs. Oh my goodness.
It's in the gravel then. He keeps it on 2 wheels though, but here we go. We have 2 KTMs in the top 3 positions. It's been a long time that we've seen KTM in this position since they came back. And here we go, Josh, and still leading the race by 1.4 seconds
Wiggins
already.
taking up the
Oh,
inside
Legendary on the
trucks.
inside! Oh!
Oh, Wiggins
oh,
ended up on the
Wiggins.
grass.
He saved it, he saved it!
There we go,
Wiggins
the
lost the
hardest corner on the circuit. He trail braking for a long time on the right hand side of the tyre. We saw so many crashes here in the wet yesterday. It's dry, so it should be a bit better.
You can see it as well. He's trying to fend off Legendary around the outside. He will switch back to the inside. He will activate the right high device. We can pass. And no, for now, Prot can hold Legendary off for now on turn 1 now on the brakes. Can
Legendary late
do
on the
something?
brakes! Oh, dear!
And he does. Clean sweep by Legendary there, and it goes back up to 2nd place.
Say it's very nice to see the KTM's back at the front of the grid. It's a long time since we've seen them here.
Man, I'm surprised. The one school French guy now woke up and chose violence. He said, I have my baguette back, please. And he's chasing down Giller right now as we speak, cutting down 0.2 of a second in the first sector. Over to you, Nelson and Finley and Jack.
Josh has made an outstanding start. 1.4 already in 2 laps, so really carrying on his qualifying form of Legendary goes a little bit wide there. Obviously, if you remember by the pre-season race,
Oh, there comes Aaron up the inside of Prot.
Whoa!
Gets a cut back. Prot is defending his position very well here. Aaron is trying everything out of the maximum to gain that podium, his first podium in D2 since he came back.
Yeah, I saw, I think that text it going off in the background, so it looks like maybe he's gone with the wrong brakes, or maybe the wrong tyre choice on the front. But his stick seems to outbrake himself multiple times into 10-10, so not looking good so far for the American, who obviously showed speed here in the pre-season race. If you guys remember that, he was one of the...
Having some issues on that front end of the KTM. Seems like he has to sit on the bike quite a lot there in that long turn 15 that we have. Now the last turn still remains in front of Aaron Jackson though, but Aaron is searching for that top 3 position, so Prot cannot rest.
Legendary fastest lap of the race. He's closing about 2/10 on Josh in front, but Josh is just doing a good job at the moment maintaining the gap. He's got 8 laps to go.
And his closest championship rival sits in 7th.
With the fastest lap, and it's already 9/10, and last lap is what, 1.3, 1.4, so it's
8/10, yeah, he's bringing this down.
Legendary strong in this first half of the lap.
Nelson, obviously you'll be one to comment on this one as well, but obviously KTM earned the double championship win in season 5. Is it good to see them finally back up the front where they deserve to be after that dominance that season?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a bit surprising after we left that team that KTM wasn't on the grid anymore, and yeah, after such a powerful season 5, it's I'm glad to see them back in form like this. 2-3 for the boys, and I would like to see this more often, definitely.
Yeah, obviously there's the 2 bikes. I mean, you rode the Tech 3 and the battery squad, and looks like Legendary may have the pace to catch Josh in a matter of time.
Prot was on the limit there, but he gets it stopped with no problems. Here we go then.
Funny thing is, they are battling and they hunting down Giller as well.
Always got on the curb as well.
It will be a 3-way battle.
Yep, this can be the top rack Ray and Bautista situation.
Yeah. Half a second the KTMs have gained on Josh on that past lap, so it's a 3-way battle now for the win between the Yamaha and the 2 KTMs. Yamaha winning all 3 races so far. KTM, they've had pole positions, they've had podiums, just not being able to get that top step from the Yamaha.
Obviously Yamahas have been very dominant so far this season. Obviously they've, as we mentioned many times before, they're probably one of the best packages for the season out of the lot.
Wiggin is down, even worse.
Massively. I think that's a moment for Legendary.
And to be fair, Josh doesn't really have to risk a lot here. He is a championship leader.
No, Moxie's down.
Moxie's down. You got 3 of the 3 podium streak going on, and big twist there from the front end of Josh going into turn 11. But he can afford to finish 3rd or 4th today with Wiggin down in 6th. If Longy is in front of Wiggin, he will definitely extend his championship lead and remain in 3rd. But I don't know if Josh is gonna push for it or gonna leave it.
Obviously Josh, he'd want to keep up that winning streak, Ooh, very wide.
Prots
If
at the
I'm right
moment
in
there on when to
collecting,
turn in the bike.
how many wins has he had so far this season? Is it 2?
Two wins and 1/3.
Yeah, so this will add 3 out of 4 if he can win this one here, and I imagine he wants to. But obviously these KTM boys are not going to let that happen that easily, as Josh has retaken the fastest lap, may I add. So he's
retaking the fastest lap, got the same gap
yeah.
back, so he is managing it very well, and we saw this as well in, what was it, Estoril, how he was managing the gaps and how he was closing in that fast. Like, I think
he's responded very well.
Yeah, responding to what Legendary and Prots had to say a few laps ago. We are on halfway point now on this race, and we have still Prots chasing down Legendary, and Legendary trying to cut back that gap to Giller right now. Can Legendary pull something out of the back?
Yeah, this is definitely the best we've seen of Legendary so far this season.
Definitely, and then don't forget he was part of that KTM squad in Season 5. Of course, putting up and down some awesome results for us as well. So
yeah, the double podium in the final 2 rounds, I remember that. 2 third positions, I remember the KTM lockout in the final round of the season with finishing 1, 2 and 3, and he definitely gave the team a lot. Obviously he didn't race last season if I'm remembering correctly. He pulled out halfway through.
But I think Prots is setting up and lining up an overtake here on Legendary. Will he be taking that swooping line into the last corner? I think he's not close enough, and he goes a bit wide though on entry. I think that's not enough to overtake Legendary at this point of stage. These boys have to watch out because the gap is just increasing, and Aaron is just creeping and creeping behind him there.
Oh, he's getting close to the back.
It's got very close there.
He passed by the surge of that slipstream. It caught him off guard, I guess.
Pulling
Josh has responded amazingly. He's got it to 2.2 now. So Josh is definitely gone into full concentration mode now. And a very dominant ride so far by Josh. He's led on the start. So yeah, Josh is managing this very well. And Aaron is creeping onto the back of these. So the Aprilia, it now looks like he can be one.
Aaron is setting up all day. Please don't do a dive bomb because
no, he's not.
He's not. Let's
He's just
go.
lining him up.
The Aprilia man is doing the Aprilia justice as we've seen in real life today. They weren't doing bad at all, and all the previous rounds in real life they've been making huge steps. So Aaron here is living up to that name and living up to that performance.
Touch with the long lap penalty, must have transgressed a lot of time, or maybe accidentally cut a corner, a shortcut maybe.
Oh, he's gonna go for the move! Prots had a really bad exit!
Here we go!
Oh, no,
you know,
he's not. He was thinking about it, but
Prots is really weak into this corner.
Here we go, that last corner. Will he send it up the inside? I think so.
No,
he's not close enough.
Really fair bits to Aaron there to avoid that, because it was a bit weird. Prots, of course, had a bad exit. He tried to go up the inside. Prots slams that door shut, and Aaron had to respond to it, and luckily nothing happened.
Aaron's front looks like it's all over the place, really. So.
Oh!
He
Save!
He saved it. Awesome save there. He still remains in fourth place. But that's his podium.
And Touchable going for the long lap.
And all of a
Touchable has
sudden,
completed the long lap.
Legendary's put back some time on Josh.
Yeah, and Prots is starting to close back in on Legendary as well.
Yeah, so Josh could have been making some mistakes here and there, but Legendary could pull something out of his bag right now. Could be either or a mix of those things. But here we go.
This race has gone very quick already. We're already on lap 7 out of 10, so this race is going to be over very soon. It's a very short race.
No.
Aaron's down.
Oh.
What a great race for Aaron here, but it goes from a mistake to even worse.
It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be battle. Touchable smells blood.
Just smelling that top 4 finish here. He will do anything to get the maximum points today. So let's see.
How closer is Prots the Legendary?
Yeah, the KTMs are closing in, and they're closing in very fast. 3 laps to go when they cross the line, which is now. Can the KTMs do anything to catch Josh?
Well, they just don't need to do nothing silly. If they let the fast driver in front, which looks at the moment looks like it's Prots.
He's done it again.
I think Prats is just underestimating the slipstream draft at the moment. On this track, I noticed it's quite from afar. Even if you brake really early, it still drags you a lot. So you have to just brake on a point or pull out of the slipstream in time so you don't get drafted like that. I think it's a bit underestimated by Prats here, but he's still not that far away, even though despite that mistake. So still anything can happen here.
Just pulling out half a second once again.
Here for Prats, doing that chicane quite nicely. Here we go, 2/10 behind his teammate, basically. And here we go then on to turn 11. He's still quite too far for an overtake as Josh extends his lead even further. Here we go then.
Surely a move coming
Prats is, just lining it up here for
just a little too far back.
Gets the chicane quite nice here. Yep.
Here we
and
go
he's
the
gonna
inside.
go
Oh, he's gonna run on the curb though.
On the curb, very daring here.
No, he can still go on the inside. He just needs to enter slower here.
It's just not his corner at the moment, so I don't believe he will go for an overtake here. Let's see here, maybe he will.
He's gonna do it after in turn 1. He's gonna do it at turn 1. Lining up really good and stick the move now. Yes, really short exit. Yes, this is with
exit he was looking for. Here we go then on the straight. A bit better exit.
He's going to the outside.
Around the outside.
Turn in right now.
But Legendary doing a really great job there defending the inside line.
Here we go into turn 2. He's got the run.
Ah yes, what a great move.
Prats up to second.
But now the chicane Legendary's going to get the better line through here, the better corner speed. Change the direction now into turn number 5, I think this is.
Oh, Legendary is not done yet. He's gonna have to look after the chicanes.
Of course, last round, Legendary got a long lap penalty. Destroyed his chances. He messed up that chicane there, so gave some free time there to
Killer has run wide. Oh, nearly crashed out.
Oh, Josh. Ran
He's lost
wide
half a second doing that. Doesn't need to do that, just needs to bring the bike home. He's got a big enough gap to win this race.
Just needs to keep his head calm, cool and collected.
Another long lap.
Moxie with the long lap, the reigning champion, guys. Don't forget, this is the reigning champion running in 8th place with a long lap penalty at the moment, and 1.3 seconds behind 7th. So I don't know what's happening with the reigning champion, but yeah, you seem to have some problems with that GP21. Here we go then.
Last lap time now
for Josh, starting the final lap of the Division 2 race. Is he gonna
I tell
win?
you what, it ain't over yet. Prats has already taken 3/10 in one corner. If he keeps it up this way, he will go to the final sector together with Giller.
we saw this in Estoril by Prats, remember. So
Oh, just a bit hot into the chicane.
Front is down.
Oh no! He has lost the
Front
front.
is down.
Oh
Wow.
dear. He can still hold on to a podium, but man, what could have been.
What could have been, yeah.
Pushing that bit too much to try and get the win.
yeah, obviously he must have saw that gap rapidly closing down, but now Josh, all he has to do is make sure he doesn't do anything stupid and he will win for the 3rd time this season.
Yep.
2 more sectors to negotiate, 3 more sectors, and he will be victorious.
Oh, Legendary very wide as well at turn 10 in the background there, but Josh, he's done a fantastic job, managed to pace up the front brilliantly. Sometimes the gap's closing a bit too much, but he's responded a couple laps later and pulled the gap back out to over 2 seconds. And Yamaha seem to be the bike to beat at the moment. 4 wins for Yamaha coming up.
Inroads on his championship rival in 7th at the moment, as Josh is coming into the final sector now.
Here we go then.
And your winner.
Oh,
he goes so he threw it all in the bin at the final corner, but here's your winner from RNF Yamaha team, Giller 64. 2nd place for Legendary the Frenchman. PPB Prats, the Portuguese, of 3rd.
There. So 2 KTMs on the podium. Here the Aprilia doing a little wheelie over the line here. Happy with his 4th place, best result. Yeah.
Touchable, good result despite the long lap, pulled it nicely back.
Pulled it back.
Place.
Only rate from hit stick and 6th. We have Wiggins.
And Wiggins just going to be on to 7th.
Finishes as well with a long lap penalty. And Here we go. Let's confirm the
In a moment, we'll go live to Parc Ferme.
the stats here, and here we go then.
In the meantime, let's take a look.
Laps are quite close between Prats and Josh. Looking at it, but Josh wins the race. Legendary gets second. Third is Prats. Aaron in fourth. Touch fifth. Hitstick in sixth. Wigan in seventh. And Moxie will run off the grid for today. Definitely a good race. And let's go to the Parc Ferme and listen to what these guys have to say about it.
What a race we had today, and obviously we're just waiting for the riders to come back into Parc Ferme, obviously on their cool down lap. Josh with another great once again, then props as well. He retains his podium form in third position.
Hello, guys.
Alright, let's see, is Prats is here. I say, Finny, on to you.
So, Props, you have managed to get another podium this season, another good result. Obviously, we saw that final lap, you were closing down on Josh very rapidly, but you unfortunately lost the front into turn 2. How did the race go for you today?
Yeah, well, guys, this track is very difficult for me. I have a bit lucky because it's not rain, so I can have a better race pace. But it's still difficult. And when I try to push in the last lap, maybe I can get the first place, but I did a small mistake and I crashed. And I think I finished in fourth. But when I see the results, I finish in podium in third place. So I really want to do a good race because last race in the Red Bull Ring I did a mistake with the fuel, so I'm not finished the race. So I'm very happy with this podium.
Yeah, massive congratulations to you.
Thank you.
See you at the next round. As we're going to move on to Legendary now.
Just want to go. Of course, Legendary, you're back on the podium, finally back on one of the top 3 stats here at Mandalika, and of course, I'm very happy to see 2 KTMs back on the podium. And tell me a bit how you feel. Alright, very massive congratulations to this result, and on to the next round, of course. And now we go on to the race winner, 2-time winner. This one can be passed on to Howling or either Jack.
Yeah, let Jack do it.
Yeah, so Josh, it's a third victory of the season. You controlled it from the front. You never lost the lead, and it's probably one of the best performances you've done. And you extend your championship lead now by quite a margin, with Panda not being here and Wigan down in 7th. So you must be in a pretty good situation at the moment.
Josh.
Yeah, it was a good race. Every time I managed it well, every time
Yeah, so well done. And don't know what your championship leaders at the moment, but I'm pretty confident to be near double figures. So it's a good start, and but there's still a long way to go. But it's a good way to start as we're approaching the first third of the season. So that has been it for round number 4 for Division 2. We'll be back within an hour, or an hour and a half, for Division 1, and we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.